kind of impact do you believe Deebo will have in Washington this upcoming season?
Impact will be immediate, and they're going to feel it. Like, when you're a player and you've given all you can give to your team and you get traded for a fifth-round pick, you look at that as being disrespectful. Like, they've changed all the rules, all the player safety rules. You can practice once a week in pads. You can only have 30-some practices from training camp to the end of the season in pads. But when you turn 30, you washed. So you done changed all the rules for health and safety, but you're not going to change the timeline from when I'm supposed to be washed. So he's coming up on 30. He ain't 38, 29. And now he can't play. And so this, for me, I believe Deebo going to look at this and feel disrespected. Fifth-round pick, y'all think I can't play. Kingsbury is really creative. And so I don't know if we'll see 2021 Deebo, but we going to see a better Deebo than we saw last year.
Yeah, some of the things I think he's going to bring to the Washington Commanders, he's going to bring some leadership in the locker room, for one. He's going to give them a toughness type of identity. You know, this is a young team who nobody saw coming on last year, and they're, like, way ahead of schedule. This is a team that can challenge Philadelphia for the division. Not only for the division, this team can get to the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, they still got enough cap space because of where they can enhance their defense and plug in some holes. But having Deebo, you have to game plan for him still. He can take pressure off your running game. Jaden doesn't have to run as much. He can take pressure off of there. He's like a Swiss Army knife. He gives you so many different things that can help your ball club out. And the most important, like I said, he's inspiring. When you watch some of these runs after catch that he gets, it just inspires the team to get them going. And like I said, the leadership, this is a great move for the Washington Commanders. And this is a team that I might be
oh, God.
I don't know, Key. I might be moving to D.C. this year.
You started off in Arizona. You was living in Arizona.
I moved back to L.A.
Then you went to L.A. to hang out with the Rams. And then you tried to sneak to Philadelphia when Philly looked like they was rolling.
No, I never snuck to Philly. No, I didn't sneak to Philly. Nope, I didn't sneak to Philly.
You didn't sneak there? Look, I think he'll have a significant impact. The one team out of all teams that's extremely happy that he is no longer in San Francisco is Sean McVay and the Los Angeles Rams, because he gave them fits in the division. So they don't have to worry about him anymore. But it's a great pairing because Anthony Lynn, who was the run game coordinator, was with him in San Francisco, so he kind of understands him a little bit. The general manager also knows him well from the San Francisco days. If he can get back to 2021, and I know what you said, TJ, he may not get back to the 1,400 yards receiving and you know, the scrimmage, 110 in scrimmage yards, 1,700 overall from scrimmage. He may not get back to that. But if he can get close to it with Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury is extremely excited about him. I talked to Cliff last night at an event that we were at, and he was praising him left and right about the ability to be able to utilize him. Now he has another tool to bring out of the tool case and just toy around with it. It's just going to be good for this young quarterback. You got a veteran wide receiver or a running back or whatever you want to call Deebo to go along with Jaden Daniels. I'm looking forward to him having a major, major impact in the success of this young quarterback, because there's one thing young quarterbacks all need. They need veteran skill position presence. And the San Francisco 49ers went out and did that by getting him. So, TJ, out of 49ers, speaking of the 49ers, have that Super Bowl window closed on them so far?
The more when I look at the question, I say, the window might be slightly open. Yeah, it's over.
It's over?
Yeah, it's over because you just traded Deebo. And that's not, you got Ayuk coming off of a knee injury. Yeah, what is he going to be? You got McCaffrey coming off an injury. What is he going to be? And so you're basically saying my best playmakers are going to be Jawan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, who was a rookie last year, and maybe George Kittle if he's going to be healthy. If he's going to be healthy for a full season. I don't know what Pearsall can give me. I don't know what Jawan Jennings can give me if Deebo and Ayuk aren't out there taking away the attention. And so they're doing this. Then they just reported they opened a trade in Ayuk. Y'all just signed him last year. And so I don't know if the Niners if they still have what it takes. Now, if I will be optimistic, I'm a huge fan of Robert Salah. The reason they didn't have the success they had last year, at least for me, was defensively, they weren't that good. If he can impact the team now the same level when he was there, then they'll be right back there. But that's yet to be seen. Offensively, that's what concerns me. Offensively, they don't have enough firepower. At least when I look at the team right now, Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall are going to be your starting receivers. They may be great, but I've yet to see it.
You know, Paul, I think the window has closed, but there's a crease. Got a little stop in there. You can stick the hand in there and pull it open. That's where I think they're at. I still like the 49ers because I'm looking at the division.
Yeah,
the
that's
division.
what I'm looking at. The division is still
Okay,
wide open.
the Rams side.
That's the Rams division. That division ain't open. That's the Rams division. That's the Rams division now.
They got Matthew Stafford back in the fold.
All right.
They're moving on from Cooper Kupp, so they'll find another receiver along with is it Attu or Atwell?
Tutu Atwell.
Tutu Atwell.
Yeah.
Go along with Puka. We know what they are running wise.
Young defense.
They're sniffing
great
around.
defense.
They're sniffing around Myles Garrett in that situation in Cleveland. Seattle is what they are. They're not 100% sold on Geno Smith, but we'll see. Arizona's going to always be Arizona. I still feel
threat still too.
they're going to always be Arizona. They're going to start off hot and then end cold. I think, Paul, when you look at San Francisco, Trent Williams is still there. Kittle's there. Can they get something done with the linebacker, Greenlaw?
Who's the coach again?
Shanahan.
Oh, Shanahan. Oh,
Can they get something done with Greenlaw, get him signed, sealed, and delivered? Can they shore up the back end with Ward and Ufunga? So they still got pieces. Bosa's there. So they still got pieces in play. They get Purdy signed. You ain't got to worry about that. Now, McCaffrey. Is McCaffrey going to get healthy? Can he stay healthy through 17 weeks of football? Because he hasn't been able to do that here recently. So when you start to look at it, I think there's a small little crease in that window. I'm not ready to just slam it closed and put a lock on it just yet.
No, the window is definitely open. Like you said, look, they got one of the top 5 coaches in the game. Shanahan, I mean, arguably, we can argue that.
I agree. I agree with that.
He's a good coach.
Is going to be as solid as they come. He's not a top 5 quarterback, but he's solid. He's shown the capabilities of getting you to a Super Bowl. Now, the most important thing is the help, like you said, TJ. If 1 year removed from an injury, MCM come back. Ayuk, we don't know. You football players heal faster than any sports players I ever seen in my life.
Way faster than basketball.
100%.
It ain't even close.
No, it's not even close.
My finger hurt. I'm sitting out another 8 weeks.
It's not even close. And so that's why I'm giving Ayuk the benefit of the doubt to come back. And we know what the weapons are with Kittle. I mean, if we talk about all these guys healthy, start of the season, the window's definitely open. I mean, the offensive numbers, not going to lie, they still 4th rank in total offense, 4th rank in pass offense, 5th rank in pass defense.
Their team fell apart because of injuries last year.
Because of injuries.
Yeah,
You
they
didn't
fell apart
have
because of injuries.
McCaffrey at the beginning of the season, and toward the middle, you lost Ayuk. And it just seemed like from that point on, everything just started. It was like Kittle missed some time here and there. Deebo was a little disgruntled because of his production and all of that. So it didn't seem like an environment for winning. Now, scratch all that. They come back healthy. Everybody's there for training camp. I still believe the window's open.
And you know this, TJ, when you lose the Super Bowl, for whatever weird reason, I don't know why that is. It's like a Super Bowl hangover, and you never make it back to the playoffs when you lose the Super Bowl. I mean, you think about that.
There was also a lot that offseason. Are they going to trade Ayuk?
Yeah.
Are they going to sign him? All the way through training camp, he not practicing. Him and Kyle Shanahan hugging on the field because there's probably some issues behind closed doors. And so it was a lot that went into the preseason, but they created that themselves. They could have gotten something done sooner than that. I just think the biggest problem is, and Trent Williams was their best player.
Yeah.
He's coming off of an injury.
No, they got injuries.
And so your best players are coming off injuries.
Yes.
And you just don't know. I've never torn my ACL, so I don't know how that is. Right. But I know people that have had it, when you come off that ACL injury, they normally say mid-season, and then the following season, do they have mid-season waste? I don't know. But I know that leadership. When the Niners walked out that locker room, we saw 2 people first every single time.
Trent Williams and
Trent and Deebo. Who going to replace Deebo?
Oh, that's
the thing.
That's a good
Who gonna replace Deebo? When they came out the locker room with that bump box, it was Trent and Deebo. Who gonna replace it?
So, some other wide receiver news today. The Bengals have franchise tagged Tee Higgins for the second straight year. The Bengals said they still have, quote, the intent of continuing to work toward a long-term deal. T tweeted in response to that tag, quote, cap. So Mr. Bengal TJ.
Man.
Mr. Bengal TJ.
What's going on in Cincinnati? There's a lot of disgruntled wide receivers out there. I'm telling you, he calling cap. And then last year, Chase coming in there, you know, he showed up when he showed up. Like, where's my deal? Like, did he don't get a deal, but decided to play? What's going on in Cincinnati? Hey, come on, TJ, give us some spiel.
Is the tag a good idea for the Bengals?
It's the only idea, obviously. And so
Shortchanging the receiver court again.
You got to approach it as a business because that's what they do.
Yeah.
So if we as players, we have to approach it the same way they approach it. And so the tag is $26 million. That's the floor. That's the floor of my contract. The yearly average is $26 million. That has to be the floor. And so if you're the Bengals, though, you look at a Devontae Smith and what he signed last year, I believe $25 million a year. You look at a Jalen Waddle at what he signed, I believe he's at $28 a year.
Got nothing to do with me, man.
And so the cap space is there. I believe they'll work something out because they don't want to piss Joe off. Joe Burrow wants him there.
Joe got his money. He ain't true.
No. That money gonna come whether it's from the Bengals or somebody else when it's Joe Burrow.
Yeah, what he gonna do? He ain't going nowhere.
No, he ain't going nowhere.
Like he gonna do something.
He ain't gonna go nowhere now. But if he starts to, they start to lose good players year after year after year, and you losing good players with cap space. It ain't like you losing good players and it's our whole team is making money. We don't have room. You got the cap space. Get it done because you could have signed Tee Higgins 2 off seasons ago.
Yeah.
For $20 million a year. That's a bargain right now. You could have signed him 2 off seasons ago, $20 million a year. Now you can't even sign him for 25. And so now you're gonna wait. And so get it done. Get it done because he makes the team better.
Yeah,
Very simple.
I got him getting traded.
After this year or
No, right now, before the draft, I got him getting traded. I got him getting traded.
So they franchise him, then trade him?
Yeah, because they want to be able to hold on to the rights before they
Right.
before the free agent market starts and he walks out the door on them.
What you trading for?
Man, I'm going to try to trade him for as much as I can get. And then I can use that pick to get a young receiver to reset the receiver room, just like they do the quarterbacks.
Right, 100%.
The same thing they do with the quarterbacks. When quarterbacks are up and they have to make decisions on quarterbacks that are not having the success that they think that they should have had, they got to make a decision on them on whether to move on from them.
They tried to do that last year, and it didn't work out.
But okay, so
they didn't draft the guy that they felt they could rely on, and so hence the second franchise tag. They tried to do that last year.
But now here I am up against it again, where now I got the tag, and I can utilize that tag by saying, looking at this receiver draft and saying, there is no Tee Higgins at this age, at this ability in the National Football League. Give me your late 1. Give me 2 2s. Give me a 2 and a 3, maybe a 4. Give me something worth my while and maybe a receiver back in return. And then I could now go out there in the draft and look and see if there's a receiver available that I could draft to put along with Jamar Chase. Now I don't have to address that receiver for 3-4 years. If he develops into something, I don't have to address his contract for another 3 or 4 years. I think Joe Burrow will be extremely happy with that if you go out there and you get the right guy.
If you get the right guy.
If you get the right guy.
You're going to have to pay Chase. He's
$40 million.
Yeah, he's going to be the highest paid receiver.
Yeah.
So that might be a good move to sign T to the franchise, then trade him to get some more value. They got to get their defense better.
But
They got to get their defense.
they got the money. And you look at...
They always got the money.
You look at the Bengals. It's one guy that makes money.
TJ, they had the money when you played.
Yeah.
You left them with the Seattle. They had the money. Think about that.
That's ownership, T.
Literally, they had the money.
TJ, that's ownership. I don't know
Cowboys
if I
got the
trust the
money.
ownership with this one. I do believe that long term we are not going to see Tee Higgins suit up for the Bengals this coming
Nor
season.
do I believe T would love to stay there for the right price. But if you're not giving me what I'm looking for, it's cool. 26 million, we take that and sit tight. We wouldn't trip. Because as you said, that's the floor. So we like, okay, cool, whatever. But then beyond that, there's a risk factor in this. I took that risk already once dealing with y'all ass. I'm not taking that risk a second time.
What's the minimum on a yearly basis that you would take if you're Tee Higgins? Well,
probably 34, 35.
Oh my God. That's
yeah. But see,
what?
Here's the difference. This is how I look at it. Many people look at Tee Higgins as a 2.
No, he had number 1 receiver.
They don't know what they're looking at, though, T.
Right.
You and I know what we're looking at.
Yeah.
When you are with another dominant wide receiver that has better statistical numbers than you, people automatically assume he's the guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy. He's the guy. He's the guy. He's drawing all the coverage. That's a lie.
Right.
They ain't just doubling Jamar Chase. They double Tee Higgins, too. Right. And when Tee Higgins is singled up, Joe Burrow's smart enough to go to Tee Higgins. Right. And when Jamar's doubled up, he's smart enough to stay away from him and go to Tee Higgins. That's just how the process works. But when you get misinformation out there from people that don't understand the position or understand football, they'll make you think Tee Higgins is just a guy.
Yeah.
No, he's not just a guy. He is literally somebody's number 1 wide receiver in this marketplace.
100%.
100%.
His ball skills, his size.
His ball skills, his size. The only thing you got to do is stay healthy.
I don't think people understand when you see somebody make easy catches, but they hard catches.
Man,
they make them look easy. He makes, and it's his ball skills that.
Man, that joker ran an out route against somebody. It might have been.
And the way he caught the ball.
Man, the way he caught the ball.
I know exactly.
You know, one on the left hand side.
Yes.
Oh, did they show it? Man, he caught an out on the left. He caught one on the left hand side. No, it's the left hand side. If we're looking at the camera, no, not this. This is the back of the end zone. Look at that, though. Look at that.
That's
this one right here.
No, that ain't it. No, that's not it.
The one in the corner of the end zone.
He just took the top off of this one.
No,
not that one. It's one in the end zone.
Watch this one.
Which one are you talking about? No, this is against Tennessee.
This one right here.
No, that's over the top against Tennessee.
The one in the corner.
He took the hit.
Bang.
Right here.
Boom, man.
That was tough. That was tough.
That's all hands.
And that's not. And it's not easy.
That's all hands.
But he makes it look easy.
Yeah.
That look easy.
I hope.
And it's where he got drafted at. When you go in the second round, unlike NBA is the same way. When you go lower in rounds, people think, oh well, he's just a guy because he went. That's all combine mess.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
And they know he wants to stay there though. That's the biggest problem. They know he wants.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to stay there.
Yeah, he does.
You think he wants to stay? Because of Joe.
100%.
I wouldn't want to leave Joe either, I guess.
He wants to stay in Cincinnati, and they know that.
Yeah, but I'm not staying in Cincinnati for $10 million less, so that would be $50 million less over 5 years if I'm doing the math right.
Yeah, nah.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not staying for $10 million less over 5 years total. That's $2 per year. I'm not even doing that.
I would want, if I'm T, I'm a $34 to $35 million guy. And if I calculate that over those 4 to 5 years.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, man. I'm not talking about 1 year. I'm talking about every single dang on year.
You got to get what you can get when you can get it, because
they gonna get rid of you
when you turn 29, they gonna say you washed.
Yeah, when you turn 29, they gonna for sure say you washed.
29, 30, he can't play anymore.
They giving you another 250.
I mean, you're in your prime. You're in your prime.
No, that's the way things work in the NBA, not the NFL.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.